Before we unveil the ancient secrets hidden beneath the Bosphorus, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and join the darkness. Your support helps us continue these gothic tales. Hit the bell icon to never miss a chapter. Now let's descend into the Bosphorus secret. The fog was rising slowly over the Bosphorus, and the city seemed to hold its breath. The sea carried the weight of the night. Every wave that hit the shore whispered an old secret. The stones were wet. The cold climbed up Darian's ankles, but it did not scare him. He had stood in the same place for centuries. He had looked at the same water and listened to the same darkness. But tonight, the darkness did not belong to him. There was a heaviness where his heart should be. A vampire heart should not feel like this. There should be hunger, there should be anger, there should be silence, but this felt like something missing, like the absence of a name. Selena. He remembered the first night he saw her. It was raining, people were running, nobody was looking at anyone, but she stopped and looked at Darian. She was not afraid. She was curious, not like she was seeing darkness for the first time, but like she had been waiting for it. The wind changed direction. The fog moved. "You are late." The voice came from inside the fog. Darian turned. Selena was standing a few steps away. The collar of her black coat was up. Her hair moved with the wind. Her face was pale, but her eyes were alive, very alive. "You should not have come," Darian said. His voice was hard, but there was a crack inside it. Selena smiled. This smile broke everything Darian had protected for centuries. "You say this every time," she said, "and every time I come." Darian took one step forward, then stopped. He wanted to touch her. He chose not to, because touching meant accepting. "If you stay here," he said, "there is no way back." "There is no way back already," Selena said. "I did not stay behind." They looked at each other in silence. The city was waking up behind them. From far away, the sound of a ferry horn was heard. Life was moving on. But on this shore, time was bending. Selena took out an old worn notebook from her bag. The edges were burned. The pages were yellow. "I found this," she said, "and it is about you." Darian looked at the notebook. His instincts were screaming. This was a door. If it opened, it would never close. "Though the curse we think it is," Selena said slowly, "is a result." Darian closed his eyes. Something inside him broke free. "Then," he whispered, "we start tonight." The fog became thicker. The city swallowed them. The stairs going underground left the noise of the city behind, step by step. With every step, the air became heavier, and the damp walls showed the old smell of blood and rust. Selena slowed her breathing. This place was not scary, but it reminded her of things. Everything people forget gathers underground and waits. Darian was walking a few steps ahead. His shoulders were tense. He knew this path by heart. Centuries ago, he walked here alone. Now, every step was written with a witness. "When was the last time you came here?" Selena asked. "The night I made an oath," Darian said, "and the night I told my first lie." The tunnel became wider. On the walls there were symbols drawn with silver. Some were erased, some were still clear. The silver reflected the light. Darian's skin burned slightly. It was not pain, it was shame. Selena moved closer to the symbols. She did not touch them. "These are not protection," she said. "These are records." Darian stopped. "What do you mean?" "They were made so everything that happened here would be remembered," Selena said. "Silver is used so the truth is not forgotten." At the end of the tunnel there was a heavy door. It was iron, but it carried marks of fear more than human hands. When Darian pushed the door, the metal groaned. The inside was not empty. Shadows moved on the walls. Whispers rose. Names were spoken. Darian's name too. "You forgot us," a voice said. Darian closed his eyes. "I did not forget," he said. "I just could not face it." Selena stepped forward. "We are facing it," she said clearly. "Now." For a moment, the silver symbols shone. The tunnel accepted their presence. Darian looked at Selena. For the first time, he felt he was not alone in the darkness. When they came out of the underground, the night felt even heavier. The city above seemed to continue its life, but for Darian, everything was left one step behind. The cool air from the stone walls changed into a salty wind. The Bosphorus was nearby. The water, as always, knew everything. Selena was quiet as she walked. She held the notebook close to her chest. Darian knew this silence. It was not fear, it was the silence of decision. This was how humans were silent, not vampires. "Your heart," Selena said suddenly. "How is it beating now?" Darian stopped. The question was simple, but the answer was not. He put his hand on his chest. There was an emptiness there. The cold order he had carried for centuries was broken. "Irregular," he said at last, "like there is a crack." Selena nodded. "That crack was already there," she said. "You can just hear it now." They sat on a bench. The yellow light of a street lamp lit them only halfway. Darian looked at Selena. On her face, there was more compassion than fear. This was the one feeling Darian could not resist. "You should have stopped me," Darian said, "before I walked this path." "This path is yours," Selena said calmly. "I only held the light." Darian smiled, but it was a painful smile. "I broke my oath here," he said. "For the first time, I did not protect a human. I ran away." His eyes went distant. Memories came. Screams, blood, the sound of silver. That night, his heart cracked for the first time. But it did not die. It slowly decayed. Selena opened the notebook. She did not read it. She held it out to Darian. "Look," she said, "this is not only your story. This is a story you carry." Darian did not touch the notebook. "If I look at it," he said, "I cannot go back." Selena did not look away. "You were never going back." At that moment, Darian understood. The broken thing was not his heart. It was the wall he built around it. The crack was growing, light was coming in, and the light was burning. Darian took a deep breath. "Then," he said, "let's go to the end." Selina closed the notebook. The night was listening. When they went down to the Bosphorus, the water had swallowed the night. There were no waves. This silence always made Darian uneasy, because when the water was quiet, memories usually spoke. The moon trembled on the water like a broken knife. Selina stayed close to the shore. She took off her shoes. When the cold stones touched her skin, she shivered, but she did not step back. "This place," Darian said in a low voice. "It is where everything began." Selina looked at him. "And where it will end." Darian did not answer, because the answer to that question had changed for centuries. He took the silver medallion from his pocket. It shone in the moonlight. Water always recognized silver. Darian squeezed the medallion in his palm. The cold metal went deep into his bones. "Silver hurts," Selina said, "but it does not kill." "Not to kill," Darian said. "To remind." He dropped the medallion into the water. The moment the metal touched the water, it made a thin sound. A door opened in Darian's mind. The past, a bloody night, the same shore, screams, orders, Darian's younger self. His heart was not fully closed yet. There was a child. He was running. Darian stopped. The order was clear. No witnesses. But Darian did not lower his sword. When the vision ended, Darian fell to his knees. His breathing was uneven. The water touched his feet. Selina knelt next to him at once, but she did not touch him. "Is this the first time you remember this?" she asked. "No," Darian said. "It is the first time I do not run." Selina's voice softened. "That child was you." Darian lifted his head. There was no anger in his eyes, only tiredness. "Maybe," he said, "that is why silver did not kill me." The water pulled back. The medallion was gone, but Darian knew something had awakened, and it would not be silent anymore. As morning was getting closer, the city was slowly changing color. The night stretched as if it was resisting, but the light was determined. As Darian left the Bosphorus, he did not look back. Some places only set you free when you do not look back. Selina matched her steps to his. Neither of them spoke. The silence was no longer empty. It was an agreement. They stopped in front of an old building. The door was half open. The smell of candles and the heavy air of damp stone came from inside. Darian knew this place. Oaths were made here, and most of them were broken here. "You do not have to do this," Selina said at last. Darian pushed the door. "I am not doing this because I have to," he said. "I am doing it because I cannot hide anymore." When they went inside, the dim light swallowed them. There were old symbols on the walls. Some were carved. Some were erased with blood. Darian placed his palm on the stone wall. The stone recognized him. He knelt down. For a vampire, this was seen as weakness. For Darian, it was a truth that came too late. "I am Darian," he said. He did not raise his voice. There was no need. And in every century I have lived, I left something incomplete. Selina stood a few steps behind him. Being a witness was enough. I used power, Darian continued, not to protect, but to run away. He pressed his hand to his chest. His heart was irregular again, but this time he did not run. Today, he said, for the first time, I make an oath in silence. He added no more words, because this oath did not need words. Selena stepped closer and stood in front of him. You will remember this, she said, no matter what. Darian lifted his head. There was no fear in his eyes. If I forget, he said, I do not deserve it. One of the candles went out. At that moment, the air inside changed. The oath was accepted, but the price had not been spoken yet. When they left the place of the oath, the sun had risen. The sunlight lit the city carefully, as if it did not dare to fall fully on Darian. Darian had expected the pain of the light. It did not come. This awareness made him uneasy. Selena noticed it. The fact that it does not hurt, she said, does not mean it is over. Darian raised his hand toward the sun. His skin did not burn, but there was an ache. It was as if his body was being forced to remember something. I always lived with my mind, he said. I remembered, calculated, and ran away. The body does not forget, Selena said. It only waits for its time. They entered a narrow street. The stones were damp. Darian's steps became heavier. The irregular feeling in his chest grew stronger. His heart was trying something it should not still be doing. He stopped for a moment. His knees gave way. Selena reached for his arm, but Darian stopped her with a nod. This fall belonged only to him. When he fell to his knees, warmth moved through his body. Not cold, not fire, memory. The first transformation. There was no pain, only loss. The moment his heart stopped, and no one said his name, his breath caught. He placed his hands on the stones. His body shook, but then steadied. I pushed this down, he whispered, because if I remembered, I would stop. Selena knelt down. This time she touched him. Her hand was warm. Stopping, she said, is not always losing. Darian lifted his head. For the first time there was something clear in his eyes. Acceptance. He stood up. The sun had risen a little higher. The body had remembered, and it would not pull back anymore. As the city was waking up, Darian felt the price of staying awake. As the sun rose, the shadows became shorter. But some shadows did not become shorter. They became stronger. They fed on the light. Selena stopped for a moment. The hair on her neck stood up. They are watching us, she said. Darian lowered his head and listened. There were no footsteps, no breathing, but the feeling of presence was deep between the stones. This was the language of the council, to exist without being seen. They stopped at the edge of a small square. An old fountain kept its water hidden. It had not flowed for years. Darian touched the marble of the fountain. The marble was cold but alive. It carried memory. How many? Selena asked. 3, Darian said. Maybe 4. one is old. The shadows moved. For a moment they took shape, then broke apart again. No words came, because the watchers did not speak with words. They reminded others of consequences. Darian counted inside his mind. He was buying time. The council liked oaths, but they liked broken oaths even more. A stone moved from its place. Selena stepped back by reflex. Darian stepped in front of her. "This is me," he said to the darkness. "Leave her." There was no answer, but the air became heavier. The first warning, a cut, the mark of an unseen hand. A thin line appeared on Darian's arm. There was no blood. It only burned slightly. Selena held her breath. "Is this a threat?" she asked. "An invitation," Darian said. "Politeness before the trial." The shadows came a little closer. This time, Darian saw them clearly, their faces unclear, their eyes like silver reflections. The old one stepped forward. "You made an oath." His voice was like stone. "Do not forget the price." "I did not forget," Darian said. "I accepted it." The old shadow stopped. He looked at Selena. "Human," he said, "do not cross this line." Selena did not step back. "I am not a line," she said. "I am a witness." There was a moment of silence. Then the shadows pulled back. "We will come," the old voice said. "Be ready." When the watchers disappeared, the square became normal again. But Darian knew nothing was normal anymore. After the watchers left, the city took back its sounds. From far away, the bell of a tram could be heard, and the smell of fresh bread came from a bakery. Life moved on as if nothing had happened. But for Darian, time felt like walking on a thin rope. Every step could break it. Selena broke the silence. "They will come back," she said. It was not a question. "Yes," Darian said. And this time, not to talk. They turned into an old passage. The walls were wet, the writings unfinished. People left marks here in a hurry and then forgot them. Darian knew how expensive forgetting could be. The strange rhythm in his chest returned. This time there was no pain, only pressure. It felt like an invisible hand was closing on his heart, forcing it back to its old rhythm. "They are calling me back," Darian said. "Like everything that goes against the oath." Selena stopped. "And you?" Darian needed time to answer. This was rare. For centuries he made fast decisions because thinking meant feeling. "If I go," he said at last, "they will reshape me. And if you don't, I will become prey." Selena took a deep breath. Then this is the breaking point. They stopped in front of a door. It was locked, but Darian did not look for a key. The stone moved back. They went inside. The room was small. There was only one window. Light entered at an angle. Darian stood in front of it. "I will say something out loud for the first time," he said. "I am afraid." Selena stepped closer. "Me too," she said. "But it doesn't stop you." Darian nodded. "No, it makes things clear." His heart changed its rhythm. For the first time, it beat the way he wanted. Darian made his choice. A voice echoed behind the door. It was not the watcher's voice. It was harder. more cruel. The council had arrived, and this time there was no escape. The darkness did not last long. The council loved light because light leaves no place to hide. When the hall lit up again, Darian narrowed his eyes. This light did not come from the sun, it came from judgment. The central figure raised its hand. The name of the price, it said, is remembering. A vibration spread through the hall. The walls seemed to breathe. The rhythm in Darian's chest became faster. His heart was moving toward a door he could not escape. Remembering, Darian said, is already my punishment. No, said the figure. Remembering only part of the truth is your habit. With a gesture, the floor opened. Light rose from below and surrounded Darian. Selena did not step back, but she could not touch him. This space was closed to witnesses. A childhood memory, a cold room, a child without a name, a door closing. Darian lost his breath. I did not choose this, he said. What you do not choose, said the council, is what makes you who you are. The light changed. The first hunt, a mistake, then a habit. Darian fell to his knees. This was not weakness. The weight had piled up on his shoulders. Selena's voice came from far away. Look, she said, but do not disappear. Darian lifted his head. He saw Selena inside the light. This was not a gift. It was balance. The price, said the figure, will continue. Every right step will bring back one wrong memory. And the human? Darian asked. The figure paused. She, it said, will be your measure. The light went out. The floor closed. Darian stood up. He felt heavier but clearer. The council was silent. The judgment had worked, but the decision was not finished yet. When the hall emptied, the silence of the council stayed behind, but it grew inside Darian. The doors opened. This time the passage did not go up, but sideways. This was not freedom, it was a test. Selena walked beside him. She did not touch him. To be a measure, distance was necessary. What you remember, Selena said, will slow you down. Yes, Darian said, but it will also correct my direction. The passage opened into a courtyard. The sky could not be seen. Above them there was only a half-transparent dome. Light fell softly, and every shadow split into two. Darian looked at his own shadow. Two shapes, both were his. Measure, Darian said. By what do you weigh me? Selena stopped. By your results, she said, not by your intentions. This was the kind of answer the council liked. A figure appeared in the center of the courtyard. It was not one of the watchers and not from the council. Its face was clear, too clear. It was a witness pulled from the past. Do you remember me? The figure asked. Darian's throat went dry. Yes, he said, but too late. The figure smiled. Late does not mean cancelled. The shadows moved. Two shadows separated from Darian and reached toward the figure. Darian stepped back by instinct, then stopped. This time he did not run. Let it happen, Selena said. Otherwise the measure will break. Darian let go. The shadows joined the figure and disappeared. The light in the courtyard became weaker. The weight in Darian's chest shifted again. It became something he could carry. "Is this it?" he asked. "The continuation of the price?" "This," Selina said, "is balance." A door opened at the far end of the courtyard. This door was a sign of no return. Darian started walking. With every step, his shadow became one. The measure was working, and the shadow was no longer a place to hide. When the door closed, it made no sound. The silence itself was the decision. When Darian and Selina stepped inside, the shape of the place was unclear. The walls moved closer, then pulled back. "From here on," Selina said, "you will be the measure." Darian nodded. Oath, price, balance. Everything had flowed to this point. His heart felt heavy, but its rhythm was calm. A table appeared in the center. On it were two objects, a silver knife and a thin seal made of glass. The light treated them differently. Silver cut the truth. Glass hid the truth. "Choose," said the place. There was no voice, but there was meaning. Darian reached for the knife, then stopped. He looked at the glass seal. If he chose it, he would speak in the language of the council, seal the past, and remember the pain in controlled moments. Safe, but incomplete. If he chose the knife, there was no return. Selina stepped forward. "I cannot guide you," she said. "I can only witness." "I know," Darian said, taking a deep breath. He placed his hand on the handle of the silver knife. It was cold, almost burning. He looked at the glass seal one last time, then let it go. The silver knife was chosen. The space narrowed. The light became sharp. Darian did not press the knife to his chest. He drove it into the ground. The stone cracked. This was not punishment. It was opening a path. The ground shook. The walls pulled back. A passage appeared. "Is the price over?" Darian asked. "No," Selina said. "Now it belongs to you." The door opened fully. Outside was the city, loud, alive, fragile. Darian stepped outside. The sun hit his face. It burned, but he did not turn away. Selina came beside him. "Are you ready?" she asked. Darian did not answer. He smiled, because some choices do not ask for answers. Darian walked slowly. The sun burned his skin. The pain was clear and honest. This time, he did not run from it. Pain was part of the path. Selina walked beside him. Even inside the crowd, they were not alone. Darian could feel it. The measure was now outside. They stopped at a street corner. An old poster moved in the wind. On it, there was a faded face and a half-erased date. Darian looked at it. "Forgotten," he said. "No," Selina said. Suspended, a scream was heard. The crowd shifted. Darian's body reacted first, then his mind. Oath and price were tested in moments like this. He did not run, he walked. At the end of the street, there was a child. His knees were bleeding, shouting, panic. Darian knelt down. He reached out his hand, then stopped before touching. "Permission," he said. The child nodded. Darian wrapped the wound. The sun deepened the burn on his skin, but his hand did not shake. The child stopped crying. The crowd dispersed. In that moment, Darian understood the power was not returning. It was settling into place. Selena watched silently. "Echo," she said, "this is how your choice works." Darian stood up. The rhythm in his chest was calm. The shadow of the council was felt from far away, but it did not come closer. The measure was right. "And what about them?" Darian asked. "They listen," Selena said. "For now." They walked toward the sunset. The light softened. The pain faded, but it did not disappear. It did not need to. They stopped on a bridge. Water flowed below. Darian took the silver knife from his pocket. He did not drop it into the water. He rested it on the railing. "A reminder," he said. Selena nodded. "Echoes do not disappear," she said. "They only spread." Darian looked at the water. His reflection was clear. The city breathed, and the story did not end there, but the path was now clear.